Welcome back everyone. Let's now look at the high-low method. Okay, so the high-low method is a method or a formula that we use to calculate variable cost per unit. Variable cost per unit. Okay, we use this method to calculate variable cost per unit. What they normally do in marginal accounting, they bring insufficient information for you. So sometimes you might need to use your own formulas or your own knowledge to calculate variable costs so that you can move on with the questions. They normally bring this type of questions in multiple choice. So you don't need to waste your time trying to run around where is variable cost per unit. You just need to apply the high-low method. Okay, so today I'm going to use an example to explain how the high-low method works. Okay, I've got an organization here. This organization is producing products. Okay, to produce 4,000 units of products, this organization requires $8,500. To produce 5,000 units, the same organization requires $10,000. Okay, so now let's go back to the high-low method. The high-low method, it has a formula like this one: higher cost minus lower cost over higher units minus lower units. Okay, so the higher cost component relates to the cost of producing the highest units that will be given in the scenario. For example, in this example, our highest amount of units is 5,000. So the cost of producing 5,000 units, which is 10,000, is the higher cost. Then the lower cost will be, of course, 8,500. Then we go to the units. Higher units is 5,000, lower units is 4,000. Yeah, it's more like calculating the gradient. Okay, so if you know how to calculate the gradient, it will be just a clear thing for you. Okay, so what we do now, let's put in our figures and try to see how much we come up with. Okay, our higher cost is 10,000. Our lower cost is 8,500 all over 5,000 minus 4,000. Okay, 10,000 minus 8,500, there we get 1,500. 5,000 minus 4,000, we get 1,000. This and this will remain with $50. Okay, so $50, $1.50 is our variable cost per unit. Then what do we do with this? Now we have the variable cost per unit. We need to calculate the amount of fixed costs. We need to calculate the amount of fixed costs. We are given that our firm produces 4,000 units using 8,500. This 8,500, or the total cost that will be given, it includes both fixed costs and variable costs. Now that we have got the variable cost per unit amount, we can use that to determine how much was the fixed cost within this 8,500. That will be the same amount of fixed cost within the 5,000 units, okay, within this $10,000. Now let's see. For this first scenario, 4,000 times 1,5, this 1,5, the variable cost per unit, 4,000 times 1,5 will give us $6,000. So what it means is that the variable cost within this 8,500, they are just $6,000, and it also means the remainder, they are fixed costs. So in this first scenario, our fixed costs will be 8,000 minus 6,000, which is fixed costs will be equal to 2,500. Then if we have done our things right, if we take the same formula or if we take the same result and put it in the next scenario, we should get the same amount of fixed cost, because fixed costs, they don't change. Fixed costs, they don't change in the short run, or they don't change in a foreseeable future. Okay, as long as the operational capacity of the machine or the organization have not changed, the fixed cost will also remain the same. Okay, now let's check our answer with the second scenario where we are producing 5,000 units. We said variable cost per unit is $50. Then we multiply that one by 5,000 and we get 7,500. Now we are saying this 10,000, it includes both variable costs and fixed costs. Now we have to deduct variable costs to see how much is our fixed costs. So if we say 10,000 minus 7,500, we remain with 2,500. Okay, so our fixed cost amount is still the same. Now we have just proven that our fixed costs, they remain 2,500. So this is the high-low method. If you don't know this method, it becomes very hard for you, especially in multiple choice questions for marginal costing. Okay, thank you for now. Let's meet again in the next lesson.